Your homeowner's insurance might not cover wildfire anymore, and under Nevada's new law, your insurance company doesn't have to tell you that.
I'm Chruszhet Hydron. I've lived in Las Vegas for over 40 years. Welcome to my channel, where local insight meets real guidance.
I'm Chruszhet, a Las Vegas resident for over 40 years, and I've lived in just about every part of this valley. Today, I'm covering two things that directly affect anyone who owns or is about to buy a home in Henderson or Las Vegas. First, a new state insurance law that changes what your policy actually covers. Second, a shift in the market itself. We've moved into what's being called a balanced territory, and that changes the leverage on both sides of the deal. And I'll show you why. In this environment, a builder incentive can sometimes beat a resale price outright. Let's start with the insurance law because this one is serious. Segment 1 of AB 376. Nevada passed Assembly Bill 376 last year, and it took effect January 1st of this year. Here's what it does. For the first time, Nevada insurers are allowed to remove wildfire coverage from a standard homeowner's policy. They have two options. They can strip it out and sell it back to you as a separate standalone policy at whatever price they set, or they can remove it entirely with no replacement offered at all. Nevada is the first state in the country to pass a law like this. So why did this happen? Carriers have been pulling back across the West for years because of wildfire risk. In 2023 alone, policy cancellations and non-renewals in Nevada surged to nearly 158,000. Insurers were leaving the state or pulling back coverage rather than eating that risk. AB 376 is Nevada's answer. They give carriers more flexibility so they stay in the market, and instead of leaving it all together. It's structured as a 4-year pilot program, so the state is watching how this plays out. Here's the part that should get your attention. The law does not require insurers to notify you if they remove wildfire coverage from your existing policy. You could renew this year, pay your premium like always, and have no idea wildfire is no longer covered until you file a claim after a fire and find out the hard way. So as of right now, no insurer has actually filed to remove wildfire coverage, but that could change, and it could change quietly. So here's what I want every homeowner and buyer watching to do. Pull your current policy and read the wildfire section, not the summary, the actual declarations page. If you're under contract right now, ask your lender's insurance requirement and your carrier directly whether wildfire is included or excluded. And if you're buying new construction in an area with any brush fire or hillside exposure, this is a conversation to have before you sign, not after. This isn't a reason to panic about Las Vegas or Henderson specifically. Our fire exposure here is different than, say, the Sierra foothills, but it is a reason to actually read your policy instead of assuming it covers what it always has. Now let's talk about the market itself, because something shifted. Months of supply is the simplest number in real estate, and it's the one I watch closest. It answers one question. At the current pace of sales, how long would it take to sell every home currently listed? A low number, which is 2 to 3 months, means sellers have the leverage. A high number, 6 months or more, historically means buyers do. Somewhere in between is what we call balanced. Neither side is squeezing the other. Southern Nevada has been a seller's market for years. We've had tight inventory, multiple offers, list price or above. That's been the story since the pandemic. But the data has been shifting steadily, and we've now crossed into balanced territory. We are now at 3.27 months of inventory, slowly creeping up. What does balance actually mean for you practically? If you're a seller, it means the days of listing on Thursday and having 5 offers by Sunday are behind us in most price points. Pricing accurately from day one matters more than it did 18 months ago. If you're a buyer, especially a move-up buyer trying to sell one home and buy another, this is the best negotiating position you've had in years. You can ask for concessions, you can request repairs, you can take your time on due diligence instead of waiving it to compete. Active inventory has been climbing while sales pace has stayed steady, and more homes on the market, not fewer buyers necessarily, just more breathing room. That combination is exactly what tips a market from seller favored to balanced. This doesn't mean prices are falling off a cliff. It means the extreme urgency of the last few years has eased, and that changes how you should approach both sides of a transaction. Now let's shift into builder incentives versus resale. So this next part matters more than people realize, especially if you're comparing a new build to a resale home right now. Builders have a tool resale sellers simply don't have. It's a captive lender. That means the builder can buy down your interest rate directly, sometimes dramatically, in a way an individual seller never can. So right now, more than 65% of builders in the Las Vegas Valley are running active incentives. If you count straight cash discounts along with rate and credit incentives, that number is closer to 90%. This is the most aggressive incentive environment we've seen since 2018 and 2019. What does that actually look like? Rate buy downs of a full point to a point and a half, design center credits in the $5,000 to $15,000 range, HOA dues covered for the first 30 to 60 days, and on top of that, closing cost assistance anywhere from $5,000 to $30,000 depending on the community and how much inventory the builder is sitting on. Here's the math that makes this real. A permanent 1% reduction in your rate on a $700,000 loan is worth roughly $150,000 in interest savings over the life of the loan. No resale seller in this market is matching that. They can drop the price, sure, but they can't touch your rate the way a builder's captive lender can, right? So when does resale still win? If you want a mature neighborhood, established landscaping, larger lots, no special improvement district assessments layered onto your tax bill, if you're targeting a specific school zone where resale dominates the inventory, or if you simply want to close fast without waiting on a build timeline. Of course, there are builders who offer spec homes with quick move-in timelines as well. But here's something worth knowing if you're weighing the new home premium. Historically, new construction sells at a slight premium over comparable resale in the first year or two. But that gap compresses. After about 24 months, new and resale appreciation tend to track within a point or two of each other. So the incentive you get today is often worth more than the premium you're paying. So here's where that leaves you. Go check your insurance policy. Actually read it. Don't assume. Understand now that you have real negotiating room in this market, whichever side of the table you're on. And if you're cross-shopping new construction against resale, run the rate math before you run the price math. Because right now, the rate is where the real value is hiding. If you're thinking about making a move in Las Vegas or Henderson, buying or selling, or just figuring out what your options actually are, reach out to me. That's what I'm here for. Hit subscribe if you want the Henderson and Las Vegas market covered straight, no fluff. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next video.